Good morning, everyone. Again, this is our second quarter, week 6 module, and the title is Comparing and Contrasting Content Materials Viewed to Other Sources of Information, Print, Online, and Broadcast. This module was written by Miss Jennifer R. Oruga with our validators and quality assurance team. And in this lesson, you are expected to compare and contrast the content of a television news program to online news articles. Use the graphic organizer to compare and contrast the content of a news program to online news articles. And analyze and evaluate information in comparing and contrasting the content of a TV news program to online news articles. Now, in the pretest, what are you going to do? You will just encircle the letter of your correct answer or of the correct answer. So let's read the direction. Read the following items and circle the letter of the correct answer. Example, when you compare something, you ask yourself, A, how are they the same? So letter A. You can encircle, you can also write the correct letter here. So just answer it like that. Now let's proceed to the review or looking back. Let's find out what you have learned from your previous lesson. Directions. Tell whether each statement is true or false. So isusulat lang ko true or false po yung sentences. Okay, example. Teamwork is not complicated in online learning. Is it true or false? Totoo ba yan o hindi? Teamwork is not complicated. Okay, so now, let's go to the brief introduction of our lesson. Now, most people like you are watching less and less news on television. So, marami na nga daw na tao katulad nyo ang madalang ng manood ng television. This comes as no surprise as young people become increasingly addicted to their smartphones. So, mas marami ng mga kabataan ngayon ang mas gusto pa ay hawak ang kanilang smartphones o palaging hawak ang smartphones. Youth choose to spend most of their time for online activities like YouTube videos, social media, games, rather than switch on a TV and watch a news program. So, mas madami yung mga ganyan ang ginagawa kaysa sa manood ng TV. Now, we have here an example of activity. Identify each statement if it's a fact on TV news or online news. Check the correct column below. Okay, so ito yung mga questions natin. Okay, news is limited by time. And then the answers are already here. So yung may mga check, ito yung mga yung yung mga salitang nagpapaliwanag kung totoo o hindi ang TV news or online news. So like this, news is limited by time. Sa TV news yon. Kasi syempre, bakit limited ang kanyang time? Parang katulad sa 24 oras, hanggang anong oras lang siya? 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So, limitado siya. Unlike ng online news, kahit mag-browse, kayo na mag-browse, dire-diretso siya. Meron na kasi siya recorded na. News stories are more complicated because of broad facts. That's online news. So, napakalawak niya. News stories are more factual and realistic. That's TV news. Kasi minsan nakikita natin siya mismong actual na eh. Yung mismong ini-interview na yung witnesses or yung mga tao doon sa balita. enables us to make more curious between facts and fake news because of wide range of information. That's online news. And needs more information or web search for validation of facts. That's online news. Now, we have here our comparing and contrasting definitions. What is comparing? Comparing is telling the similarities of two or more things, animals, places, people, or events. So, pag nagko-compare kayo, ipinapakita nyo dito yung pagkakapareho ng mga bagay. Pagkakapareho. When contrasting, it's telling the differences of two or more unlike things, animals, places, people, or events. So, contrasting, pagkakaiba. Now, let's have the things about TV news and online news. TV news is a television broadcast of news. So here, news can be watched on a specific time. News on TV makes you a witness to important events in real time. News on TV is convenient and accessible to everyone. How come na naging accessible siya? Kasi accessible and convenient yung TV kasi halos lahat naman ng households ngayon ay may TV. Iilan na lang yung walang TV, or kung wala ka man TV sa bahay, kung meron naman yung kapitbahay mo, minsan napakadaling sumilip lang makipanood ng balita. Now, online news is the online version of newspaper. It requires data, Wi-Fi to get online. It is costly to maintain. News spread faster. Sometimes people find out news before the shroud. Everyone has access and can post any article anytime, but readers should be grateful or careful on facts. It can be accessed anytime. So for more information about this, you can go to YouTube, and this is the link. Now, with the arrival of the internet and social media, news is distributed at an incredible rate by unprecedented number of different media outlets. How do we choose which news to watch? So, siyempre nga, dumating na si internet at social media, napakalaki na yung bagay na na-distribute sa iba't ibang media outlets. So, how do we choose which news to watch? Paano tayo pipili ng news na papanoorin? Now, we have here our activities. Let's read the direction. Read the selection and answer the following question. Title, TV News to Online News by Jennifer R. Oruga. Every day in our lives, we watch news to update us with information. What we watch every day are forms of media, either on TV broadcast or via online. Before, we only get information either from newspaper or from televisions until online media came. Online media is growing faster than ever. It is replacing the old types of listening to news since most of the people spend most of their time in social media like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where most of the hottest news spread faster. In 1998, the editor of the WashingtonPost.com said in an interview that internet would be replacing newspaper and TV news because articles in these means are much faster to spread. However, he still insisted that newspaper and TV news were more adept in terms of information and facts from the internet. Most people can take most of their time in watching the news online because it can be easily accessed anytime as long as you have data connection or Wi-Fi rather than waiting on a scheduled time on TV. News online or online news and TV news have their good and bad side. It is our duty to take time and evaluate every information from facts and misleading information from the news we have watched either from television or online. Now let's check the let's answer the comprehension check. You will just write fact or faked. Number three, let's have number three. News spread faster online compared to television. So, so news spread faster online compared to television. So is it fact or fake? It's fact. So you will just write fact there. Then continuously answer it or continue answer it. Now let's do the activity 2. Direction. Complete the Venn diagram below. Choose and write the letters of given statement on the right space of the diagram. Now what is Venn diagram? A Venn diagram is an illustration that uses circles to show the relationships among things or finite groups of things. Circles that overlap at the center have similarities, while circles do not overlap shows the differences of things. So this is an example, or this is the picture or the illustration of Venn diagram. So kapag nag-overlap, ibig sabihin yung nagpatong, so ito yung nag-overlap, ito yung similarities or the comparison. Yung magkahiwalay na yan, ito, these are the contrast or the differences. So what are you going to do? There's no need for you to copy the sentence, just the letter. Okay? So, example, its news can be watched only on specific time. So, saan to? Sa TV news. So, the rest, you will just write here the other letters. Now, remember, where are you going to get the answer of remember? Go back doon sa taas, look for the meaning, and then write it here. Example, I have learned that, okay, for example, comparison or comparing. Comparing means telling the similarities of two or more things, while, so what's the other word? Means telling the differences of things. Blank is a tool to use and show the comparison and contrast of things, animals, places, news, or events. Blank news can be watched using data or Wi-Fi, while blank news is broadcast on specific time. Check your understanding. Use or using that selection TV news to online news. So, babalik kayo dun sa binasa natin kanina. On page 6 of your module, complete the Venn diagram. So, this time, you will write the sentences or words to compare and contrast the TV news and online news. If the space is not enough for you, use another sheet of paper and attach it in your module. For the post-test, encircle the letter of the best answer. Okay, example. What graphic organizer is used to show comparison and contrast of things? Okay, so it's letter C. Okay, you can also write it here, the letter C, if you want. It's okay. So that's it. Now, if you have any questions, you can message me, you can text me, so that I can answer your questions. Okay? So thank you so much for again, class. I hope you learn, and I hope this will help you to answer your module. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.